You're good to begin when you'd like to, Counselor.
City Council will convene for the purpose of receiving public testimony. We have a large number of individuals signed up to testify this evening, so we're going to ask that when your name is called, you approach the podium and identify your name and address, and then proceed to your remarks. We're going to ask folks to limit their comments this evening to 2 minutes to ensure that everybody who is signed up will have time to be heard. I want to thank our colleagues, Councillor Govan and Councillor Click Bruce, for being here tonight for Public Speakout, and I'll also let folks know if any additional councillors join the chambers or virtually as well. The first individual signed up for Public Speakout is Patricia McGee. Ms. McGee. And it looks like Patricia may not be present, so the next person signed up is Ms. Rhonda Latney. Ms. Latney.
Good afternoon, City Council, ladies and gentlemen. And once again, I'm really disappointed that we don't have enough representation here to hear the concerns of the taxpayers, citizens of the city of Springfield. And I hope this is not taken away from my 2 minutes. So I'm here today to continue to talk about the elderly abuse and fraud and scam that has engulfed the city of Springfield. This is my friend Alberta Dolly Howard, who passed February 5th, 2022, at the age of 109. She was the oldest person in the city of Springfield. She was the oldest person perhaps in the Commonwealth and also in the United States of America. We've been talking about the elderly abuse and fraud and scam that surrounds her, and public officials from Sergeant Simmons and Detective Gregory McCain, who was investigating her elderly abuse case since 2020. Ms. Howard died, and it's sad that because of the crimes in this city, that this is a marker of her gravestone at Oak Grove Cemetery. And no one came out to acknowledge her when it says here, in memorandum, Springfield School volunteers express its deepest condolences on the passing of our longtime volunteer and friend, Ms. Alberta Dolly Howard, who recently passed away at the age of 109. So I'm trying to find out, how do we find these organizations, from the Greater Springfield Senior Services to the District Attorney's Office to these judges in the Springfield Police Department, who failed drastically on this investigation that led to her death of her and her son. And as a matter of fact, James Votes, who was the person that was abusing her, is now inside a probate family court, continued to steal the wealth of Paris Pico Howard, her son, and Alberta Howard, impersonating to be the nephew and the cousin of these individuals. So we're looking for transparency, how we hold these public officials in the city of Springfield accountable that nothing has been done to take place regarding this elderly abuse, fraud, and scam that I have recently became a victim of it as well when I exposed this on December 7, 2022, that caused me to be incarcerated at the Worcester Recovery Center and the Western Correctional Center in Chicopee. So I'm looking for some kind of actions to hold accountability for public officials and public employees and their part in this elder abuse, fraud, and scam that has engulfed the city of Springfield. Thank you, and I apologize if I went over. And I'm sorry, and here's one more picture of her funeral, and no school committee, no public Springfield representation whatsoever at her funeral. So thank you, and I'm looking for a response to this.
Thank you, Ms. Latney. We're also joined now by Councillor Allen, and we're joined virtually by Councillor Whitfield. At this time, the next person signed up for Public Speakout is Mr. James Trekus. Mr. Trekus.
Hi. Yes, I'm a resident of Springfield at 825 Carew Street. That's a corner property. And we need the City Council legislation to define and restrict the use of police discretion. After requesting the installation of no parking here to the corner sign to incorporate the PVTA bus stop sign that's 35 feet from the corner, Cars park at this bus stop sign and block the sidewalk path to the buses, and some up to 16 hours. Most after-hour police will not ticket, refuse to enforce violations. If police arrive, stop behind the violation or the violator, and do nothing and leave. When calling to find out why no ticket, the response is police closed, no violation, no bus at this time, ticket a car last month, police discretion to not ticket by after-hours officers. PVTA says no parking all the time, even after no buses are running. Ignore the no parking here to the corner sign violations, which incorporate the entire area. Need City Council legislation to be added to Massachusetts General Law. 1, to define and restrict claim or use of police discretion at posted sign violations. 2, state no police discretion allowed at no parking here to the corner sign areas. 3, state no police discretion to not ticket parked cars at bus stop, sidewalk pathway. 4, to require trash bins, recycle bins, and bulk pickup in front of their property or driveway. Ticket placements in front, well, this should be that they should not allow to be put in front of the neighbor's property, which they do to me. And my question is also, why is Police Internal Affairs referring after-hours parking violations not enforced to daytime police ordinance enforcement when it's not their shift and they have no control over other after-hours officers? And my final question is, instead of raising my property taxes 11%, stop the abuse and misuse of police discretion to not ticket real violations and collect fees from them. Now, I got several photographs that I'm going to leave with you showing that they have been ignored, and I find it odd that no one can do anything. Now, some of these cars are government cars. Some of them appears to be a judge's car. Most of the time, it's residential cars. But I don't understand how this police discretion allows them to not ticket known violations at posted signs and to ignore the situation totally. So please take some action and hopefully resolve the situation. This is happening in front of my house, and I have no ability to stop it. Thank you,
Mr. Tricus. You may hand your photos to Councilor Allen or Councilor Govan. We're also joined virtually by Councilor Hurst, and our next person signed up to speak out is Christopher Adam.
Good evening. Thank you, elected officials of the City of Springfield. Just to start off, I am not a resident of the City of Springfield. I am a resident of the City of Chicopee. However, I am a business representative for the United Food and Commercial Workers Union 1459. Our local represents between 300 and 400 employees for the city, spanning various departments within the schools and DPW. I am here to ask that the city be a leader in the advocacy for municipal employees and elect to be part of the state's PMFL. This state-run benefit is a requirement for private businesses. However, it is not for cities and towns. UFCW and many other unions are asking the city to step forward and join this program to better add benefits for current and future employees of the city. Springfield, just like other municipalities, are struggling to recruit and retain employees in this post-COVID world. City jobs used to be a coveted career many years ago because of the benefits the employee received. However, cities are falling behind in wages and benefits, and they are now feeling the crunch. The cost to take part in this program is roughly 0.5% of the income of the employee. This is a small cost in the grand scheme of things to both increase the mental and physical health of all employees, but would also be a major marketing advantage over other cities and towns to both attain and keep employees going forward. The program is run by the state, and the state handles the paperwork and the granting of denial of benefits, so this would not be a burden on the current city departments or administration. All monies paid to qualifying individuals comes directly from the state, So no added calculations or budgets would need to be done for these taxes, as these are taxes paid directly to the state of Massachusetts. State of Massachusetts then pays the benefits out from these taxes collected. You know, we're asking, like many other unions are, is that the city be a leader in this, because to the best of our knowledge, no city or municipality in the state of Massachusetts has joined in on this program. And the private sector does, and that's one of the reasons why municipalities are struggling to get quality applicants to apply, because this is an incredible benefit to the employee. And we'd like you to, we'd ask the council to consider adopting this for the city. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Adams. Our next speaker is Tracy Little Sasanecki, and I believe she is participating virtually.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you. My name is Tracy Little Sasanecki, and I reside at 23 Partridge Drive in Springfield, Mass. I'm currently on leave as a professional school counselor of the Springfield Public Schools and currently the president of the Springfield Education Association. I'm speaking today as a member of the coalition of the city and school direct unions that are in support of this resolution. As part of the Massachusetts Teachers Association, our statewide union, we worked hard to pass the ballot question that set up the state's paid FMLA. Our union colleagues in state higher educations have benefited from this law. We believe that we Springfield municipal employees should have access to the same state law or a paid FMLA program that is equal to or better than the state's plan. We at the SCA have had many members who have become sick and had sick family members or become injured outside of work, become financially insolvent due to being out of work on unpaid leave. We have even had some members lose their houses. This is not okay. In addition, we in the SCA have many new young teachers. An ability for them to receive paid FMLA when they take parental leave will provide financial stability for these young families. The employees of Springfield deserve the same paid FMLA as the state and private sector's employees. Please support this resolution and support us as we move through the process of gaining this benefit for all of our Springfield employees. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Sasanecki. The next individual signed up to speak out is Chelsea Bell.
Hi, my name is Chelsea Bell, and I'm here tonight representing AFSCME 1596 and the librarians of Springfield City Library, some of whom are here. Since I began in the role of union steward a year and a half ago, I've helped various members through the details of signing up for FMLA. We've had frank discussions about what taking unpaid time or using up all of their paid time off would mean for them, for their future, and for their families. Our sick banks quickly dwindle, especially since many of us have had to use this time often over the course of the pandemic. I've had conversations with members who are looking to plan for a pregnancy or birth of a child. We do not have paid parental leave. Human Resources tells us that the benefits we are offered by the city are better than what Massachusetts paid family leave can offer, but this is not true. The short-term disability policy I have in place for myself costs me more than twice as much as the Massachusetts state paid leave would. Not only that, but a short-term disability policy being used for the birth of a child provides a very small fraction of time at home than what paid family leave could. One member had to come back to work after only a matter of weeks after the birth of their child, eating up all of their sick time and vacation time to do so. When this staff member or their child was sick at any time during the remainder of 2022, almost all of their paid time off was already gone, making it incredibly hard to care for their child and for themselves. More time at home is just as important as the financial benefits. Paid family leave would also offer benefits to people looking to adopt a child or who need to take care of a sick family member. A short-term or long-term disability policy does not cover those major life events. Many of our members have found themselves in situations where they are not sick themselves, but they need to be a caretaker for someone. Again, this leaves them with little paid time off in the future if they should fall ill. Having paid leave in Springfield would relieve a huge financial burden that we all carry. I ask you tonight on behalf of myself and my union membership that you vote to establish a policy for the city of Springfield to offer paid family medical leave for the sake of your city employees and for the sake of our community as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bell. The next individual is Riley Hernandez. I believe Ms. Hernandez is participating remotely.
Yes, can you hear me?
Mr. Hernandez?
Great. So my name is Riley Hernandez. I'm a member of the Springfield Education Association, and I'm here tonight on behalf mainly of the Western Massachusetts Area Labor Federation, which has been working closely with the coalition of Springfield municipal unions for paid family medical leave. All workers should have the ability to care for themselves and their families without risking job loss or financial consequences. We believe that access to paid family medical is a fundamental right that should be extended to all workers. Springfield municipal workers' access to paid leave varies widely by workplace. Employees seeking leave usually must rely on inadequate sick day banks or take unpaid leave. We constantly hear from our members navigating the financial impacts of insufficient or unpaid leave policies that they must take to care for their newborn or to care for themselves or a sick family member. We believe that workers paid through the municipality should be entitled to the same benefits as state and private sector workers that were extended to them through the 2018 Paid Family Medical Leave Act. The 2018 Paid Family Medical Leave Act established one of the best PFML programs for any state in the country. Most of our unions also represent members who have benefited greatly from the program. The Paid Family Medical and Leave program has an opt-in provision for municipalities who wish to offer this benefit to their employees. Any municipality can opt into the program through a simple vote of their governing body. We therefore ask that Springfield be a leader in the quest for economic justice for their employees and become the first municipality to opt in to the program. And I'll lastly add that the United States is the only fully developed industrialized country that does not guarantee paid family medical leave for its workers. It is time that we get with the program. We have the funds to do so, and it is necessary that we do it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hernandez. The next individual signed up to speak out is Lisa Lipshire. And I believe that you are participating
yes.
remotely.
Yes, that's right. Thank you very much for giving us this opportunity to speak. I'm one of the librarians at the Springfield City Library that Chelsea Bell is so competently representing. And I just want to tell you that for someone my age, I'm 66, and I don't intend to retire for another 9 to 10 years so that I can have a decent retirement. The whole idea of not having paid family and medical leave is very frightening. I love my job. I love being a librarian. I love working with the public. I like helping people. I like helping connect people with information they need, or help them use technology, or help them find entertainment in the library. I just love my job, but counterbalancing that is a constant fear that I won't be able to continue working because I have a very hard to understand, most people have never heard of it, disability called multiple chemical sensitivity, also known as chemical sensitivity. What that means is that for some vulnerable individuals in our society, and who knows why this happens, we become sensitized to chemicals of all kinds. That includes the chemicals that are in people's everyday consumer products, fragrance that's added to lotion, shampoo, laundry products, etc. So whenever I'm in the same room as somebody who has used these items at home, I feel overcome with cognitive confusion, sometimes dizziness, shortness of breath, pain in my head, and you can imagine it makes it difficult to work, both with coworkers and with the public. I've been very fortunate that my union is strong and has advocated for me and helped me get a room where I can get away and have fresh air, but every day for me is a challenge. To get through every day is a challenge. And so if I knew that I could have paid medical leave to fall back on, I would be greatly reassured. And I think my joy would increase and my fear would decrease. Thank you.
Thank you. The next individual signed up is Martin Curley.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. I'm Martin Curley. I live at 96 Judson Street. I'm here to represent Local 364, the Springfield Police Department, International Brotherhood of Police Officers. I'm here to speak in favor of the city adopting the Paid Medical Family Leave Act. We have a very young department in the city of Springfield. I'm here to speak on their behalf. There's many of them that are leaving in droves. We keep losing officers every month. They just resign and they leave. This is something that may be able to keep them around, where they could be guaranteed the opportunity to be paid and not worry about wages being lost when they have an extended injury illness that did not happen on duty. I myself, 7 years ago, diagnosed with cancer. I had to wait for my surgery to guarantee I had 60 sick days and then 60 the next year, so there was no chance of me losing my pay. That was my decision, but with the FMLA for the city of Springfield, that my younger officers, sisters and brothers wouldn't have to worry about that. It's also something that could also attract officers to this city if we were the first city in the Commonwealth to adopt this act. Now, I urge you all, please bring this forward to the city of Springfield and for all the employees, not just the police officers. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next individual signed up to speak is Sarah Milber.
Good evening. My name is Sarah Corigliano Milbeer. I live at 103 Clough Street in Springfield, and I'm a special education teacher at Central High School and a member of the SEA. I came here tonight to offer my support for resolution number 7342, the paid family medical leave resolution. I wanted to give the City Council, the Director of Human Resources, and the Chief Administrative and Financial Officer of the City of Springfield a human face for this benefit and a piece of my story. I understand we're limited to 2 minutes, but my life has recently changed drastically due to 2 very terminally ill parents, and I felt that my voice would be helpful in this situation. As I was helping to ease my father's exit from this life, from a rare illness called idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, I was simultaneously helping my mom to fight for her life as she received a diagnosis of pancreatic cancer. As you can imagine, I couldn't do all of these things outside of school hours, and the bills don't stop just because people get sick. While as a Unit A member, I appreciate the availability of the sick bank as an option in dire situations, it's not a guaranteed benefit. It has limitations that make applying and qualifying difficult. For example, I had to give specific dates as part of my sick bank request. However, when someone's battling cancer, it doesn't follow a predictable schedule. I made my best estimate of the days I will need to be with my mom for her chemo treatments, but I don't know yet if they will be approved or if my mom's needs will change, nullifying my application. As this body considers the option of joining the Massachusetts Paid Family Medical Leave Program, I hope you will remember my story and others you hear and understand the profound impact you will have on the dignity of our city's working families by opting into this benefit. Knowing you can care for a newborn, a sick child, or an ailing parent without sacrificing your job or the livelihood it provides in those moments would be a great deserved benefit for the workers of our city. Thank you.
Thank you. The next individual signed up to speak out is Jim Boone.
Thank you. My name's Jim Boone. I live at 97 Florida Street in the McKnight Historic District. I'm speaking tonight about the isolation hospital. I want to thank you for your support for historic preservation in Springfield. The City Council has historically acknowledged the value to the community of historic districts in saving and developing our assets. Local historic designation of the Isolation Hospital on State Street has been recommended by the State Historical Commission, Preservation Massachusetts, and unanimously by the Springfield Historical Commission. We appreciate your ongoing support for historic preservation by designating the Isolation Hospital as a local historic district, thus giving it the protection and recognition it so deserves and advancing its attractiveness for development. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Boone. The next individual signed up to speak is Talon Lanina. Thank you.
Hello, thank you so much. My name is Talon Lanina. I'm the Children's Services Supervisor at the Springfield Library at the Central Branch right over there. I'm here to speak in support of the Paid Family Medical Leave Act. I wanted to give you my perspective as somebody that has a chronic health condition. I have had migraines since I was 6 years old. I'm 32 years old now. They come with a super fun variety of symptoms, but the major one is pain. It's a significant amount of pain. And there are days when I feel very ill. And unfortunately, on those days, I have to make the judgment call about whether to come into work or not based on how I feel or how much I'm able to do my job, but whether my paycheck is going to take a hit this week because I have enough sick time or not. And I'm in the position where I'm making judgment calls. Do I feel terrible or do I feel incapacitated? How much is a normal amount of pain to be in during my workday? I'm in the position where it is normal for me to throw up during my workday, brush my teeth, and go back to working with children. And that's a horrible place to be in. Just because I deal with it constantly does not make my pain threshold any higher. I'm a baby about it. I am not used to how bad it feels. And what I want for myself and for other people who suffer from chronic conditions, who have to live with this pain every day, is to have the same security that healthy people have with sick time. I want to be able to take sick days when I need them and know that I'm going to be able to make rent that month, that I'm not going to have to figure out how I'm going to go home to visit my family over the holidays because I've used up all my vacation days because I was sick. I just want the opportunity to stay home when I feel terrible. And I currently am not able to make that choice free of financial obligations. And so I just really urge you to think about how life-changing this would be for all the people who deal with chronic health issues, who are constantly running out of sick time, who are constantly dipping into their vacation time, who are making the choice to not be paid that day or that week so that they can take care of themselves. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The next individual signed up to speak is Tammy Kennedy.
Good evening. My name is Tammy Kennedy. I live at 476 Island Pond Road in Springfield. I am a librarian here in Springfield, and while Springfield is known as the city of homes, I believe it is also the city of families. Each day, the library opens its doors to our community's families, and while we work to assist our patrons in locating materials, we also provide access to programming and resources that enrich the lives of our community members. This public service profession is one that gives every day, as do all of our city employees. Every day we come to work, we are devoting our time and energy to your families to provide them with access and growth opportunities that they may not otherwise have. While the Family Medical Leave Act provides residents with job security, the paid FMLA could change lives. It could make a difference for a family having to choose groceries over a utility bill. Our community's families should not have to make these decisions while simultaneously experiencing medical emergency, caring for a loved one, or the birth of a child. I am the mother of 2 young girls, both of which I had difficult pregnancies and births. No matter how well we had planned, my husband and I were blindsided by the strain on our family and our finances. While I had no medical history that could have given insight to the struggles endured, they happened nonetheless. It took me months to recover physically, mentally, emotionally. As we tried for our second child, we had a pregnancy loss that created more medical and financial strain. As we finally prepared for the arrival of our second child, I wondered how long I would be out of commission and how our desire for a family may impact my work and finances. I ended up needing 2 months of recovery while caring for my first. Through personal loans and credit, my little family persevered, but things could have been so very different. I was not a city employee then. Now, my family planning consists of saving for camps and sports and dreading the teenage years. But I see the community around me in need of this support. I see my coworkers in need of this support. As they plan for their own families, or heaven forbid, they are blindsided by medical emergencies, they need our support. We are all human beings, we all have families, and we all experience the unexpected. Even those of us that plan for our families still face the challenges that arise. While we devote ourselves to our community's families, we still need to support our own. I hope that each and every one of you will consider your own families as well as your communities as a decision is made whether to adopt the paid FMLA. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Our final speaker is Sue Montmameni.
Good evening. My name is Sue Montmany. I live at 86 Brewster Street. I am a 26-year dedicated paraprofessional with Springfield Public Schools. Life happens to everyone. Whether we work for a municipality, whether we work in the private industry, or whether we work for the state. I'm here to personally tell you a story about what started with our lives in September of 2018. We had just celebrated the birth of our fourth grandchild when my husband was diagnosed with cancer. We knew from the day that he was diagnosed it was going to be a long haul, with chemo, radiation, followed by major surgery and 6 additional months of chemotherapy. Our children have all left the area, so we traveled to California for his treatment. Our middle daughter happens to be an oncology nurse, which was a huge benefit to his care and his comfort, and also for security for myself, emotional support. My sick time was gone by Christmas of that year. I had nothing left because of his combined chemo and radiation, as well as multiple doctor visits, CAT scans, PET scans, MRIs. It was nonstop. Every single day there was an appointment to go to. Illness in families doesn't discern whether you're a municipal employee, a private employee, or a state employee. We all experience life, the good and the bad. We have a happy ending. My husband's cancer-free today. But the havoc that it wreaked on our lives to have to exhaust my sick time and run out of FMLA time and go unpaid for several months was an enormous hardship that probably wasn't necessary if we had paid family medical leave here in the city. I'm asking you please to consider this. I too have a personal story. It has a happy ending, but those days were very, very difficult. Ease the burden on employees of the city so that we don't have to worry about the financial aspect of having a loved one sick, a parent, a child, a spouse. It's important. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Sue, and thank you to everybody who has come out to address the council this evening. We'll take a brief recess prior to convening our regular meeting. Ready to go. I think it'll be quick. It says I'm waiting to be let in. The council will come to order. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Walsh, absent. Counselor Fenton? Present. Present. Counselor Perez?
Present.
Present. Counselor Whitfield?
Present.
Present. Counselor Govan?
Present.
Present. Counselor Allen?
Present.
Present. Counselor Brown? Absent. Counselor Hurst?
Present.
Present. Counselor Click Bruce?
Present.
Present. Counselor Edwards?
Present.
Present. Counselor Curran?
Present.
Present. Counselor Davila?
Present.
Present. Counselor Letterman?
Present. Will the council and guests please rise and join us in a moment of silence? Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Please let the record reflect that Councilor Hurst and Councilor Whitfield are participating virtually. At this time, are there any reports of committee? Councilor Click Bruce.
Yes, we had two meetings last week on April 4th for public safety. In attendance was Council Leaderman, Councilor Fenton, Councilor Govan, and Councilor Allen. And it was with Superintendent Clapperote. And she was just clarifying her role with the Springfield Police Department, also with regards to hiring and firing. And she was just, as she announced it as the Springfield Police Department as being fragile, and they're shorthanded and having a hard time retaining and recruiting officers. and she's looking at losing additional 5 officers by the end of July. And we currently have 26 vacancies currently at the Springfield Police Department. So she was just making us aware that those are some of her challenges with the Springfield Police Department, amongst other things. Also had a public safety meeting on April 5th. In attendance was Councilor Govan, Councilor Whitfield, and we also had Lindsay Hackett on the line on the call with Fire Commissioner Calvi and DPW Director Chris Signoli. And they were updating us on the hazard mitigation plan for the city, and they're looking for the city council to adopt, which is on tonight. And it basically deals with natural disasters in the city and steps the city will need to take to help mitigate the situation. So I'm looking to support it. So those are my committee updates at the present time.
Thank you, Councilor Click Bruce. Councilor Allen?
Thanks, Mr. President. I would like to make a report on the Finance Committee, which met today at 5:30. There are about 10 or 11 people in the meeting, including Councilor Whitfield and myself from the Finance Committee. While we didn't take a vote, we had good discussions on all the items. Lindsay presented some of them, and other people presented as it called for. All items were accepted and discussed and accepted, and that's my report for tonight.
Thank you, Councilor Allen. Are there any further reports of committee? Seeing none, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll to accept the reports.
On accepting the reports, Councilor Walsh. Absent, Councilor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Brown. Absent, Councilor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Davila.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The reports are accepted. Madam Clerk, please call the first item.
First item is the February Revenue versus Expenditure Report.
Mr. Burns?
Thank you, Mr. President. Patrick Burns, 90 Clement Street, Springfield. Tonight you have the February Revenue versus Expenditure Report. It represents the first 8 months of the fiscal year. As I mentioned at the last meeting, we are monitoring the natural gas and electricity budgets, and thankfully the March numbers came in a little less than projected, so we're hoping we can address the shortfalls within the fund with available funds currently. And also, we're finalizing the numbers in the snow and ice budget, and we'll be working with DPW to eliminate any deficit that might occur in this budget once the numbers are finalized.
Thank you, Mr. Burns. Are there any questions? Seeing no questions, Madam Clerk, can you please, before we vote, recognize Councilor Brown?
Councilor Brown.
Present.
Present.
And please let the record reflect that Councilor Brown is participating remotely. Once again, are there any questions on the Revenue versus Expenditure Report? Seeing none, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll to accept the report.
On accepting the report, Councilor Walsh. Absent, Councilor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Davila.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The report is accepted. Madam Clerk, item 2.
Item 2 is to change the zoning of the properties known as 1685 Boston Road, 1655 Boston Road, 1719 Boston Road, and north side of Fernbank Road by removing the properties from the Regional Shopping Center Overlay District.
Madam Clerk, can you confirm that this item is on for referral and no action is required tonight?
That is correct.
Item will have been read and referred. Madam Clerk, please call item 3.
Item number 3 is Eversource Gas, Burlington Street.
Is there anyone here to speak to this item? Mr. Velez?
Yes, Hector Velez, DPW Springfield. This petition is from Columbia Gas to replace the cast iron pipe to a plastic and upgrade it from low pressure to medium pressure. This is going to be on the Forest Park area on Burlington and Belmont Ave.
Thank you, Mr. Velez. Are there any questions on the petition? Seeing no questions, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll to authorize the petition.
On authorizing the petition, Councilor Walsh, absent. Councilor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Davila.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Letterman.
Yes, votes are sufficient. The petition is approved. Madam Clerk, please call the next item.
Item number 4 is for Verizon on Plainfield Street.
Is there anyone here to speak to this item?
Yes, Hector Velez, DPW Springfield.
Mr. Velez?
This petition from Verizon is going to connect one manhole to a handhole. It's around 10 feet with 2 pipe of 4 inches. Is to improve the system in that area in Plainfield.
Thank you, Mr. Velez. Are there any questions on the petition? Seeing no questions, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll to approve the petition.
On approving the petition, Councilor Walsh, absent. Councilor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Davila.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The petition is approved. Madam Clerk, please call item 5.
Item 5 is the Parks Grant for Dr. Seuss Foundation in the amount of $100,000.
Director Sullivan?
Good evening, Council. We're very proud of this grant. It's one of our first private foundation grants that we are acquiring for the Parks Department for the Master Plan in Forest Park. The Park Commission felt it was important in this master plan to recognize the Geisel family. Theodore Geisel Sr. served as the park superintendent for over 32 years, the longest serving park superintendent, and of course we all know his famous son, Dr. Seuss. So we wanted to do some artwork in the old monkey house, which will be turned back to the public for events, and they would like to do something in that building that honors the Geisel family. And this brings us to $6.1 million in grants that we've received so far for this project. As you know, you've approved the forestry grant, which was important to move them out of the monkey house for their storage, and then the Walker Grandstand grant that you accepted a month ago. So we are continuing to search for more and more grants to fully implement the master plan, and it's our hope, and I would love if anyone would like a tour of the monkey house project. We actually used it 2 weeks ago for the rescue mission. They had a road race in the park, and it was raining, so we were able to accommodate them into the monkey house building. We still has work to do, but it's now acceptable, and we're hoping that we can bring the indoor farmers market to that location this winter.
Thank you, Director Sullivan. Are there any questions? Seeing no questions, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll to accept the grant.
On accepting the grant, Councilor Walsh, absent. Councilor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Brown.
Point of order.
Councilor Brown?
This is for the Dr. Seuss statue?
Correct, to accept the grant.
Oh, okay.
Councilor Brown, you may vote at this time.
No.
No, Councilor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Davila.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Letterman?
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The grant is accepted. Madam Clerk, the grants on items 6 and 7 are both under $50,000. They can be called together.
Item 6 is for a Springfield mural lighting project, no match required, in the amount of $28,500. Item 7 is fire hazardous materials grant in the amount of $2,509, no match required.
Are there questions on either of these grants from the council? Seeing no questions, then without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll to accept items 6 and 7.
On accepting the grants, Counselor Walsh, absent. Counselor Fenton?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Govan?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Brown?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hurst?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Click Bruce?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Curran?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Letterman?
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The grants are accepted. Madam Clerk, please call item 8.
Item 8 is for a donation for TJ O'Connor in the amount of $4,869.64.
Is there anyone here to speak to this item? Deputy Caffa?
Thank you, Mr. President. Lindsay Hackett, Deputy CAFO, 80 Tamarack Drive in Springfield. These are donations from the first quarter for TJO in the amount of $4,869.64. 29 separate donations were received, the largest of which was $1,300 from Rockies. They have no specific purpose, and they'll be used to assist TJO's operational expenses.
Thank you, Deputy Caffa. Are there any questions on the donations? Seeing none, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll to accept and authorize the donation.
On accepting the donations, Counselor Walsh, absent. Counselor Fenton?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Govan?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Brown?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hurst?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Click Bruce?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Curran?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Letterman?
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The donations are accepted. Please let the donors know they have the gratitude of the Springfield City Council. Madam Clerk, please call item 9.
Item 9 is a donation to the fire department in the amount of $200.
Commissioner Calvi.
Good evening, councilors. Bernard Calvi, 210 Winton Street, Springfield, Massachusetts. This donation comes from the Maureen and Timothy Scully. It's an amount of $200. It was made on 3/3/23. It doesn't have any specific purpose in the donation. It'd be used for general practices at the fire department.
Thank you, Commissioner. Are there any questions? Seeing no questions, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll to accept the donation.
On accepting the donation, Counselor Walsh, absent. Counselor Fenton?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Govan? Yes. Yes, Counselor Allen?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Brown?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hurst?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Click Bruce?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Curran?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Letterman?
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The donation is accepted, and please let Mr. and Mrs. Scully know they too have the gratitude of the Springfield City Council. Madam Clerk, please call item 10.
Item 10 is a transfer from reserve for contingencies to the Office of Human Resources in the amount of $11,774.
Deputy Caffa.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is a transfer from reserve for contingencies over to the personal services line for HR, Human Resources. This is to cover the retirement and payout of one employee, and they are moving that former employee's position from a part-time to a full-time employee. So this additional funding will allow them to do that through the end of the fiscal year.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Seeing none, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Walsh, absent. Counselor Fenton?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Govan?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Brown?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hurst?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Click Bruce?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Curran?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Letterman?
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The transfer is authorized. Madam Clerk, please call item 11.
Item 11 is bills of prior year in the amount of $3,135.
Deputy.
Thank you. This order is for a bill of prior year, services rendered in FY '22. It is to cover services from MGM for the management of Symphony Hall in the amount of just over $3,000.
Thank you. Are there any questions or deliberation? Seeing none, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll to authorize the bill of prior year.
On authorizing the bills of prior year, Counselor Walsh absent, Counselor Fenton?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Govan?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Brown?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hurst?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Click Bruce?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Curran?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Letterman?
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The payment is authorized. Madam Clerk, please call item 12.
Item 12 is an order accepting Mass General Law, Chapter 44, Section 53F3/4, establishing a PEG access and cable-related fund.
Attorney Breck.
Good evening, councilors. Kathleen Breck, Deputy City Solicitor, City of Springfield Law Department, 36 Court Street, Springfield, Mass. This order is a request to accept the General Law 44, Section 53F and 3/4 to establish a public educational and government known as PEG access, television access programming through services, facilities, equipment for PEG channels, and to deliver cable television programming to municipal buildings similar to this meeting as being broadcast today, and to maintain customer service quality. What you may know is we have a franchise agreement with Comcast Cable. To every quarter, Comcast makes a payment to the city in order to support the PEG access and cable-related television services, primarily performed by Focus Springfield, who you're all familiar with. And what we're going to do is enter into a memorandum of agreement with Focus in order to understand what projects you're going to be working on and how to fund those projects appropriately. And this money gets set aside and would get set aside in a special fund because it can only be used for these purposes. It can't be used for other general purposes. So it's really to set it aside and keep it whole just for that. I've also attached an informational memo from the Department of Revenue if it's of interest. If the council were to accept the statute, it is a majority vote. It's not a supermajority vote. And the fund would take effect on July 1st, so it would be an FY24 fund. And I want you to know also that any payment out of the fund would require an appropriation.
Thank you, Attorney Breck. Are there any questions for the attorney? Councilor Govan, followed by Councilor Davila.
Thank you so much for bringing this forward. I actually had a conversation with Council President earlier regarding language access to our residents. I don't know if this is something that we can do with this fund, as far as having meetings like this translated into Spanish, either by closed captioning or the subtitles. I think it's called subtitles. But that's just something, is that something that we could possibly do with this fund?
It sounds like it would be a legitimate
Okay.
expense.
Oh, good.
And perhaps it would be, we would work with the Focus to get those services.
Right.
And we could look into that definitely.
All right. Oh,
Yeah.
great. Okay, well, thank you. It sounds like a really good opportunity. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor Govan. Councilor Davila.
Mr. President, good evening, Attorney.
So I believe if you said that if this approved by this wise body today, this will go into effect July 1st of 2024?
Yes, it would start as of July 1st of this
Okay.
year, FY '24.
Right. Now, I sort of barely heard you back here. Can you summarize for me again in 30 seconds what the purpose of this is?
So the Comcast pays the city quarterly payments to support the cities being able to fund public educational and governmental access, also known as PEG access, basically what Focus Springfield does for us.
Right.
And that, obviously, that service, they have payroll, they have equipment, they have, all of this equipment that they've installed. They put all the programming out on the different channels.
Right.
And recently Comcast decided to change the channels, so now we have to reorient folks that are used to watching their meetings on these channels, now that they're going to be going on to different channels, and we're also trying to get them to create them in high definition.
Right.
So there are a number of services that Focus will be performing, in addition to presenting city council meetings and school committee meetings and other types of meetings, as well as video programming from the public. There are members of the public that put programming on our
Right.
public access channels, and it's to support all of these endeavors.
Correct. Now, Attorney Bragg, with the creation of this fund, this doesn't mean there's going to be any kind of price increase for the customers, right?
I apologize, Councilor, I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Sure. With relationship to this fund, that does not mean that there's going to be some sort of a price increase for the residents, correct?
Price increase? No. This
No, that
doesn't
would-
require any kind of a price increase for customers, correct?
Very well. All right. Thank you, Attorney Bragg. That's all my question,
you.
Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Davila. Are there any further questions for Attorney Breck? Seeing none, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll to authorize accepting MGL 40, Section 44, 53F3, establishing a PEG access and cable-related fund.
On accepting the MGL, Counselor Walsh, absent. Counselor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The order is accepted. Madam Clerk, please call item 13.
Item 13 is Healthcare for the Homeless Revolving Fund.
Is there anyone here to speak to this item? Mr. Burns?
Thank you, Mr. President. This is actually an amendment to the ordinance that created the revolving funds, which was established in 2017. We're asking for first step approval this evening. This was a recommendation by the Department of Internal Audit that this fund be established in accordance with state law.
Who placed the item on the agenda?
I did. I apologize. I don't think I specified correctly that it was an ordinance amendment.
I'm going to ask Attorney Shea. If you're with us, Attorney Shea, the way this is placed currently as an order, but it is really an amendment to an ordinance, can we take first step tonight as advertised?
Okay, can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Okay, I would believe that you could go forward with this tonight.
Thank you, Attorney Shea. I agree. Without objection, then we'll proceed. Are there any questions for Mr. Burns? Seeing no questions, Madam Clerk, please call the roll on first step approval of the ordinance.
I'm sorry, I couldn't get my hand up, Mr. President.
Oh, I apologize. Counselor Whitfield, floor is yours.
I'm sorry, can you repeat this ordinance?
Certainly. Mr. Burns, could you say again the intent of the amendment?
Yes, this is the establishment of a revolving fund. It's an amendment to the current ordinance that we have that has 7 revolving funds. This would add an 8th revolving fund for the Healthcare for the Homeless Fund.
Oh,
And this
yeah, I
was the
remember now.
recommendation of the Department of Internal Audit after a review.
That's right. I remember in the finance meeting. Thank you. I just think I missed it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Whitfield. Are there any further questions? Seeing none, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll on first step.
On first steps, Counselor Walsh, absent. Counselor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The ordinance passes first step. Madam Clerk, please call item 14.
Item 14 is an order authorizing a contract over 3 years for school computer lease purchasing finance.
Is there anyone here to speak to this item? Please state your name and address for the record.
Good evening. Robert St. Lawrence, Interim Chief Information Officer for the School Department, 134 Town Farm Road, Brookfield, Massachusetts.
Welcome.
This evening, the Springfield Public Schools is requesting that the city award a 4-year lease agreement to Hewlett-Packard Financial Services Company for lease purchasing financing for laptop computers for students and staff. A 4-year term supports the implementation of student and staff computer replacement policies adopted by the Springfield School Committee in December 2013. The policy ensures replacement of laptop computers every 4 years. Entering a 4-year lease purchase agreement spreads the cost of the equipment out over its useful life, provides budget stability and scheduling annual costs over 4 years, supports sustainability of school technology initiatives by committing to technology investments over time, and enables the SPS to retain technology at the end of the lease term with no additional cost. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions or deliberation? Seeing none. Without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll on the order to authorize a contract over 3 years.
On the approval of the order, Counselor Walsh absent. Counselor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The order is authorized. Madam Clerk, please call item 15.
Item 15 is Springfield Local Natural Hazards Mitigation Plan.
Is there anyone here to speak to this item? Deputy Caffa.
Thank you, Mr. President. We're requesting adoption of this city's updated hazard mitigation plan. It's already been approved by FEMA. You've done this once before. Every 5 years, we have to update the plan, get it approved by FEMA, and get it adopted by City Council. So we've made some updates to the plan. We did go over it in the subcommittee meeting last week. Some updates to the plan were updated risk assessments on any natural hazards having occurred since 2017. We had some status updates on projects that were outlined in the 2017 plan. We also had some updates for things like forest fires. That was the majority of the updates. There wasn't anything else too materialistic to the changes to the plan. The adoption of this plan is important because it allows us access to mitigation funding through FEMA, the BRIC program, and building resilience, something. I don't know. They changed it like 3 times in the past couple years, but the city's gotten 2 of those grants previously. The first was South Branch Parkway to upgrade inadequate stormwater infrastructure. That was for $550,000. And the second, more recent one was for Tiffany Street Culvert for stream channel improvements in the Forest Park area. That is for $284,000. all of these grants do come with a match, just like all FEMA funding, which is 25%. But we do think that it is a small price to pay for the funding that we do receive for mitigating these hazards. So I hope I can answer any questions if you have them. But otherwise, we sent out the plan for review.
Thank you, Deputy Caffo. Are there any questions? Councilor Allen?
Thanks, Lindsay. Just curiosity question. South Branch Parkway, was that for the recent DPW project?
Yes.
With the culvert?
Yes.
All right, I was wondering where that funding was for that. And was the Dickinson Street one the one?
That was an emergency. That was the washout. That was separate. This is a separate project, but that wasn't funded through this program.
All right, great, thank you.
This program is to stop emergencies like that from happening. Yeah, to fix the problem before it becomes an emergency.
Thank you, Councilor Allen. Are there any further questions or deliberation? Seeing none. Without objection, then, Madam Clerk, please call the roll to accept the hazard mitigation plan.
On accepting the plan, Councillor Walsh absent, Councillor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Councillor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Councillor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Councillor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Councillor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Councillor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Councillor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Councillor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Councillor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Councillor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Councillor Davila.
Yes.
Yes, Councillor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The plan is accepted. Madam Clerk, please call item 16.
Item 16 is Isolation Hospital Local Historic District.
This ordinance is on for first step. I believe Councilor Brown is the sponsor. Councilor Brown?
Thank you, Mr. President. This is something that we still have to meet with the Preservation Committee. It's still going through certain details and things as far as the property, the hospital, and what's going to go on with it. So we're still through the first stages of trying to figure out exactly what we can do just to save it. So we still have a few meetings, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor Brown. No. Is there any further deliberation? Councilor Allen?
Maybe Councilor Allen.
Councilor Allen, did you wish to be recognized?
Can I just ask a question?
Certainly.
Councilor Brown is saying that we're still looking at it and that sort of thing. I'm wondering who the "we" is.
My understanding is this ordinance has already been before the Historic Commission and was forwarded to us now for our approval. It's structured as an ordinance, so it still requires us to put it through our process, but it is on the agenda for a first step vote tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Is there any further questions or deliberation on the ordinance?
If I may.
Councilor Brown, followed by Councilor Fenton.
Yes, this is, I didn't know how much information I needed to present, but this was still the hospital property. We're looking, I'm basically leaning, I know as a body, that a lot of us was in favor with what the Preservation Committee had wanted to do when it came to this particular property. I know a lot of my colleagues and myself was aiding them as far as the process was going. I know a lot of us are in full support. We're just trying to figure out, I'm not an exact expert of what we can do and what to do on this particular property, but it is something that we're truly, I know as a body that we were in support with the Preservation Committee.
Thank you, Councilor Brown.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilor Fenton, followed by Councilor Govan.
Thank you, Mr. President. And I intend to support the ward councilor on this petition, but I would just say that normally we have someone from the Historic Commission come down and we'd have some kind of indication as to the property owner's perspective on this. I know that there's been some development plans that have been discussed publicly and in some cases not so publicly. And so I just think that we should have some more information about what the property owner's perspective is on this. If Councilor Brown wants to take first step tonight, I'm happy to do that with the understanding that, you know, future support from me for second and third step would be conditioned on hearing what the property owner has to say about all this and whether they're in support or not.
Thank you, Councilor Fenton. We're going to go to Councilor Govan, followed by Councilor Davila, followed by Councilor Brown. Councilor Govan.
Yes, so I'm not sure what the petition is, but I know that I heard in the public speakout, Mr. Boone talk about the isolation hospital and how they did want it to remain historical. So I would be in support of that. Of course, with what Councilor Fenton said, I don't know what the property owners intend, but I think that, you know, Springfield is the city of homes, and I actually was traveling this weekend and I saw a lot of historic districts. So I would love to see Springfield continue to, you know, have those little pockets of history. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor Govan. Councilor Davila, followed by Councilor Brown.
Thank you, Mr. President. If I may, through the chair, has this, I do share Councilor Fenton's sentiment as well, but has this been properly vetted through the Preservation Commission already?
Correct.
And they approved it?
Correct. That is how it is now before us.
Okay, so we'll be taking first step.
Correct.
Yeah, I in that case, I would be more than happy to support it. I do share Councilor Fenton's sentiment, so I will be happy to pass first step as well.
Thank you, Councilor Davila. Councilor Brown.
Thank you, Mr. President. I definitely concur with my colleague, Councilor Fenton. I know as well as the Preservation Committee, you know, we do want to find out from the petitioner and what their actual responses are. So I do concur. I was hoping that they would actually be here this meeting, but if we're able to continue, I agree 100% with my colleague, Councilor Fenton, just even making sure next time that they're available to answer and to address anything. But I do concur with my colleague. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor Brown. Are there any further questions or deliberation before voting on first step? Seeing none, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll to approve first step.
On approving first steps, Councilor Walsh absent, Councilor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Davila.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The ordinance passes first step. Madam Clerk, please call item 17.
Item 7.
Madam Clerk, one moment.
Quick
Councilor
point of
Davila.
order, if I may. Yes, if you could be gracious enough, Mr. President, I would like to welcome former councilor and current state rep Orlando Ramos back to the chamber.
Thank you, Councilor Davila. Madam Clerk, can you please call item 17?
Item 17 is an ordinance amending Chapter 178 Fire Prevention, Section 178-5, Installation, Maintenance, Testing, and Repair of Fire Protection Appliances, requested by the Springfield Fire Department.
Commissioner Calvi.
Good evening, councilors. This is an amendment to an ordinance that's already on the books. The initial ordinance was just installation, repair of fire protection ordinances. We're looking to rename it, for starters, to installation, maintenance, testing, and repair of fire protection appliances. And then we want to add a ending paragraph. Inspection report shall be filed with the Fire Prevention Bureau immediately upon completion of installation or testing of an appliance by a third-party vendor in a manner determined by the fire commissioner to be in the best interest of public safety. So what we're looking to do is just have the vendors, as soon as they're done testing and everything, file these reports.
Thank you, Commissioner Calvi. This ordinance is on for first step. Are there any questions or deliberation amongst the council? Seeing none, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll on authorizing first step.
On authorizing first steps, Counselor Walsh, absent. Counselor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Brown.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The ordinance passes first step.
Thank you, councilors.
Thank you, Commissioner. Madam Clerk, please call item 18.
Item 18 is a resolution for official jazz song.
Councilor Govan.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. President. So this resolution, I'm putting it forward, and I believe that all the councilors approved it or signed on to it, which I'm really happy about. This is a resolution to ask the state legislature to make the song Massachusetts the official state jazz song. And I'll read the resolution. It says, whereas the members of the Springfield City Council support and encourage a local artist as she highlights the rich history of the state of Massachusetts through her iconic jazz music, and whereas Springfield resident Montina Scheider has been singing and crafting music for the last 40 years, and whereas the Springfield City Council stands with State Representative Orlando Ramos as he filed a bill titled an act designating the official jazz song of the Commonwealth, House Docket Number 2367, on January 19th, 2023. Now therefore be it resolved that the Springfield City Council hereby strongly and respectfully urges the Massachusetts State Legislators to amend Chapter 2 of the Mass General Laws by adding Section 65, the song Massachusetts. Words and music by Montina shall be the official jazz song of the Commonwealth. A few years ago, State Representative Raymond Jordan, actually, may he rest in peace, wanted this to be the official state jazz song because he heard Miss Montina sing it, who is here tonight, and he wanted it to be the official state jazz song. He wasn't able to accomplish that, but I am very happy that when I told State Representative Orlando Ramos about it, he actually filed a bill for it, and I'm hoping that it will become the official state jazz song. With your permission, Mr. President, would it be okay if I have them speak on it?
Certainly. Without objection, we'll welcome Ms. Montigny, and at this time appropriately recognize and welcome our former colleague from Ward 8 and now State Representative Orlando Ramos. If both of you would like to come forward and share your remarks.
Thank you. Ms. Montigny doesn't know what to say.
Well, thank you. I considered this an honor, and Raymond Jordan literally, really and truly wanted this to be the state song. And for every Democratic convention that I attended that he wanted me to sing at, his song was Massachusetts. He didn't care what I sang as long as I sang Massachusetts. And at the grand opening of the Ray Jordan Senior Center, he hired my nephew and myself to be the entertainment, Terrence Scheider, but he wanted me to sing Massachusetts. And so I think this would be a wonderful honor for him, because I don't care where we were, he would want to hear the song Massachusetts. He even had the audacity to have me in the skybox in Worcester with Governor Deval Patrick and Mrs. Patrick up there, and all he wanted me to do was sing Massachusetts. So I think this would be an actual honor. I'm really kind of overwhelmed by it, because originally the song was written by Andy Razaf and Lucky Roberts, and Andy Razaf is from Madagascar. And the lyrics were changed because we were raising money for the Western Massachusetts Food Bank. And there were multiple artists on this one CD. And so we wanted to reflect Western Massachusetts because just about everybody feels that Massachusetts stops at Framingham. And so therefore, this is how we ended up doing our lyrics to reflect Western Massachusetts, Northampton, Greenfield, Springfield. But to me, it's an honor. I'm still kind of like pinching myself about this. I really am. I just had no idea. And then we were getting ready for a press conference. And so I thought it was all about Orlando Ramos, Representative Orlando Ramos, but it was about him putting forth the bill so that it could be the official state jazz song. So is that all I need to say? Come on.
Thank you, Ms. Montino.
Okay, you're welcome.
And at this time, we'll recognize Representative Ramos.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, members of the City Council. It's great to be back. I think this is the first time I've been to a City Council meeting without a tie. So please excuse my attire, but I came back for a good cause. Here to speak in favor of House Bill 3105. Anyone who has ever heard Montina sing, you know how talented she is. She sings with a lot of passion and represents Western Massachusetts very well. She represents the city of Springfield very well. And so when Saida came to me and asked me if I would consider filing a bill to make this the official Massachusetts song, I said, absolutely, let me do some research. So I did some research and I found out that we already had a Massachusetts official song, but we didn't have a jazz song. So after speaking with House Counsel, we decided that this would be the appropriate song to be the official jazz song of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. If you hear the song, it's a very catchy song. The lyrics embodies everything that the Commonwealth stands for, and it highlights not just Eastern Massachusetts, but also Western Massachusetts, as was mentioned. So it would be a great honor for us here in the city of Springfield to have our very own Montina Scheider as the author and singer of the official Massachusetts jazz song. So I thank you, Saida, for this resolution, and I thank all the members of the City Council for co-sponsoring it, and I appreciate your support. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Ramos.
Mr. President, may I play the song? Or would it be
Councilor
inappropriate?
Councilor Govan, without objection, I'll entertain the playing of the song,
Okay.
unless Ms. Montina is
She won't
interested in
sing it.
performing.
She
the
doesn't
sing.
have the band.
Okay.
Go get your band, Ms.
Without
Montigna.
objection.
Oh, wait, I got an ad. Okay, here we go.
I'm leaving right away. When the porter yells, Massachusetts, I'll be there with bells, Massachusetts. I'm homesick as can be, Massachusetts, the only place for me, Massachusetts. Got a special date with that New England state. How my heart will beat, Massachusetts, up on Poet's Seat, Massachusetts. I want.
You'll have to go to YouTube and play and listen to the whole song. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor Govan, and my apologies to our sound crew in advance, although it sounded pretty good.
I'm sorry.
We put Focus Springfield through a lot. Live
do.
performance is not one we've covered yet, but we're certainly there. At this time, are there any further, Councilor Govan, does that conclude your remarks?
Yes, sir, thank
At this
you.
time, are there any further comments or deliberation? Councilor Perez?
I just want to say that it brings me memory because Montina, Freddie Marino, and Tolly, many years they played together. I'm Freddie Marino's wife. A dynamic woman. My son learned a lot playing with Montina and my late husband, Freddie Marino. Nice to see you, and it's a nice song. Nice to see you. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Perez. Councilor Click Bruce.
Want to say I'm definitely looking to support this. Montina is a friend, and a great songstress, and I have the privilege of listening to her nephew each and every Sunday, who plays at my church. So just good people, and really looking forward to this being our official jazz song for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Thank you.
Thank you,
Mr.
Councilor
President.
Bruce. Are there any further questions? Councilor Edwards?
It's an honor to support this, and I just wanted to say that I've had the pleasure of eating her food, and she is a wonderful, wonderful chef, and the city has lost when her restaurant left us, it was a tragedy, because I still remember that chicken soup she fed me, and so it's a real pleasure and honor to support this. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Edwards. Councilor Whitfield, followed by Councilor Allen.
Thank you, Mr. President. I too really, truly love Miss Montaigne. She is a wonderful person. Her family attends my church, her daughter Kai and her son-in-law, and it's just like family, and I love listening to her sing. I love being in her company, being in her presence. She's wonderful. I think that this will be a great honor for Massachusetts to have her singing our state song. It would be an honor and a privilege for all of us, and I just am so glad that this resolution or this is put forward, and I definitely support it. And yeah, I can't wait to hear the whole song again. I have heard you sing it in person, and the recording doesn't do you justice. You're amazing, and I definitely support this.
Thank you, Councilor Whitfield. Are there any further questions, comments, or deliberation? Councilor Allen?
I just want to enthusiastically support this and say I have heard you sing live, and it was great to hear you. You sang a couple songs, and it was great, so I'm glad that this is working out. Thanks to Councilor Ramos and State Representative Ramos and Councilor Govan for their work on this, and great job.
Thank you, Councilor Allen. Are there any further questions, comments, or deliberation? Seeing none, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll on passage of the resolution.
On passing the resolution, Councilor Walsh absent. Councilor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Brown.
Abstain.
Abstain, Councilor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Davila.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient, and the resolution is approved. Madam Clerk, can you please call the final item?
Final item is the paid family medical leave.
And Madam Clerk, as I'm the sponsor of this resolution and intend to speak on it, I'm going to step down and hand the gavel to Councilor Vice President Edwards.
President Letterman.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you, colleagues, for your time this evening. Before us is a resolution in support of aligning the City of Springfield's employment policies with the state's paid family and medical leave law. And I want to begin by thanking the many individuals who came out this evening during Public Speakout to share their personal stories and their testimony about the impacts that they and their family have faced as a result of not having the same level of access to paid family medical leave that their colleagues in the private and state public service sector currently enjoy. Many councilors will remember the movement for paid family and medical leave across Massachusetts in 2018. There was an initiative to bring forward PFMLA via the ballot, and many individuals in this room supported that initiative. It ultimately did not make it to the ballot because a compromise was struck in the legislature that allowed PFMLA to be signed into law in the Commonwealth. And what many people didn't necessarily realize at that time, though, was that it excluded municipalities and their employees from the program automatically. And so what that means is that there are certain units in the city of Springfield of our employees who currently do not have the same level of access to paid family and medical leave as, again, their colleagues in the private sector or in the state public service sector. And we've heard tonight how that can impact their families. This really has been a worker-led movement. We are hearing from representatives of our public employee unions here in the city of Springfield and workers themselves about the need for us to address this. And in initial conversations that we have had with the Department of Human Resources, we've heard the same things that those individuals have heard, which is that, you know, the idea that there are currently enough services that folks can access that would make it on par with state public service employees as well as in the private sector. But what we're then hearing and seeing very clearly is that that is not the case for too many of our employees. And so in order to move this conversation forward and make sure that we can arrive at a conclusion that will ensure benefits at the same level for our employees, this resolution calls for a couple of things. The first thing that it calls for is that the Director of Human Resources in the City of Springfield to conduct a thorough audit and bring forward a report to the General Government Committee of the Springfield City Council to clearly identify what categories of employees in the City of Springfield, be they bargaining or non-bargaining, do not currently have access automatically to the same level of paid family medical leave that they would in the private sector or in the state public sector. And it also puts us on record as a City Council as being in support of developing a policy that will ensure paid family and medical leave of the same level and value that is available in those other sectors to our employees, and being able to work directly with our finance department, with our Director of Human Resources to figure out the best way to do that at the local level. We know that ensuring that our city employees have access to paid family and medical leave benefits at that same level is fundamental. It's fundamental to supporting working families, it's fundamental to supporting working parents, and it's fundamental for the city to remain competitive as an employer to provide the best services possible to all of our constituents. We often hear about individuals who come into the city of Springfield, have the opportunity to work with us, but that then see better opportunities at the state level. And so this is one way that we can close that gap by making sure that we're providing these same level of benefits. Certainly, this will be not the end of this conversation, it's the beginning of this conversation, but I think that it is a strong first step to show that the city of Springfield is committed to guaranteeing paid family and medical leave for our employees. I'm happy to take any questions, and I'm hopeful to earn your support tonight.
Councilor Govan.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. And thank you, Mr. President, for bringing this forward. I heard the testimony from many of the constituents who came here tonight, including the police department, the librarians, the school personnel. I actually have personal experience with this. One of my clients in my private practice is having problems with this very same issue. You know, she is not doing very well physically and mentally, and because she doesn't get paid family medical leave, she has to worry about how she's going to pay her bills if she can't work. And I didn't realize that this was the case with the municipal employees not having access to the paid family medical leave. They have family medical leave because it's a state law, but it's not paid. So I wasn't aware of that until I worked with my client, and she said that she wasn't getting paid. So I would highly recommend that we support this resolution and that we help to make our city, you know, level with the other employees that live and work in and around the city of Springfield. And hopefully all state all the state municipalities will also pass this after we do it. So thank you so much, Mr. President, Mr. Vice President.
Thank you. Councilor Fenton.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I'm going to support this tonight. I think that this is a complicated issue. I want to thank President Letterman for leading on a difficult issue and bringing it before us. And I particularly respect the manner in which the resolution's brought forward, which is saying that we'll conduct an audit, talk about it. Obviously, there's moving pieces. What are other cities and towns doing? What type of contribution would need to be deducted from payroll in order to fund it, consistent with how the other FMLA programs work across the state. But I've noticed it myself. I just did my taxes a couple weeks ago, and I did my private W-2 for my law practice, and there's withholding for PFMLA, and then did my city W-2 and noticed the inconsistency that there isn't a withholding for that. So I think this is definitely the type of discussion that we should have. Very supportive of doing it, and want to thank Council President Letterman for bringing forward an important and complicated issue.
Councilor Davila.
Thank you, Mr. President. Vice President, I will be supporting this resolution. I think it makes a lot of sense. I'm personally looking forward to see the result of the audit, to see what real, true conditions our city employees are facing. As we all know, the family is the most important thing, Mr. Vice President. And we should be able to work, how does that saying goes? We should work to live, not live to work. We should be able to enjoy our time with the family. And more importantly, we should be able to care for a family member when the time comes. And we will all face that at some point in our life. I have to say I'm a little surprised and shocked to find out that the city did not provide this. This is something that should have been addressed a long time ago. But my compliments to you, Mr. President Letterman, for bringing this forward. I will enthusiastically support this, and I cannot wait to see the results. Thank you, Mr. Vice President.
Councilor Allen.
Thanks, Mr. Vice President. I concur with Councilor Fenton and Councilor Davila. I'm glad you brought this up. I wasn't aware of this. Thought we had it. If you had asked me, I would have said we have it. And the fact that it's not paid was a nuance that I was not aware of. So thanks for bringing it up, and I hope we can get it into committee and get some discussions going on it soon. Thank you.
Councilor Perez.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Listening to the people and the family that was in this room is an awakening to us, because all along I was in the understanding that FMLA was in place. I think that we need to look at, and I express myself, the health condition when it comes to Springfield, specifically with the asthma, having so many children with asthma, which it put me in a position as a parent that I had to leave my job in order to go and give my child the medication at that time in school, and many hours in the emergency room with my son, unable to go to work, and then I had to balance work and my son sick at home. I mean, the guilty conscience of having to leave him. So personally, I went through all that process. So I understand what this family was here, and I am in full support of this resolution. Thank you so much.
Are there any other comments? President Letterman.
Thank you, Mr. President, and I just want to say thank you to my colleagues for your support this evening. And I also want to make sure that we specifically recognize the Western Mass Area Labor Federation and the various local unions that represent workers here in the city of Springfield who really have been leading on this. The way that I first became fully aware of this myself was really that a librarian called me, sent me an email, and shared with me their own personal experience with it. I had an opportunity to meet with them and hear from them. And so this very much has come forward directly from the people that we serve and work with and who serve our constituents every single day in the city of Springfield. So it's a testament to reaching out to the people that represent you and sharing with them their experiences. It's not always easy to share personal experiences publicly or even with public officials, but certainly in this case it has led to this conversation, and I am hopeful that this will lead to ultimately these benefits being extended to workers in the city of Springfield and in the Springfield public schools. The wheels of government President, we know often turn too slowly, but at least we are now moving in the right direction with this conversation and putting the Springfield City Council really on the front line of municipal governments in the Commonwealth to say that we have to move forward with ensuring these benefits for our employees and neighbors. Thank you.
Any other comments? Madam Clerk, please call the roll on passage of the PFMLA resolution.
On passage of the resolution, Counselor Walsh absent, Counselor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Letterman.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards.
Yes. The vote is sufficient. The resolution passes. Madam Clerk, is any other business properly brought before this committee?
There is not.
This meeting is now adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for your attendance.